Hello and welcome to Grace Tutorial. In this video lecture, we will be discussing about the washing soda, bleaching powder and the plaster of Paris along with their preparation and the uses. First up, let us try to understand about the washing soda. So the formula for washing soda is the hydrated form of the sodium carbonate. But now the question is how the washing soda is formed. What are the various steps that we need to follow in order to prepare the washing soda? The first step is that the sodium chloride on treatment with ammonia, water molecule as well as the carbon dioxide, it forms the sodium bicarbonate, that is NaHCO3, or the sodium hydrogen carbonate is formed with the ammonium chloride molecule. When the sodium bicarbonate is heated, then we get the sodium carbonate with the liberation of the carbon dioxide gas with the water molecule. That is the step number 2. And in the step number 1, we need to consider about the formation of the sodium bicarbonate. So how the sodium bicarbonate is formed? The sodium bicarbonate is formed by the reaction of the sodium chloride, ammonia, water molecule as well as the carbon dioxide. And after the formation of the sodium bicarbonate, if you will heat that one, you will get the sodium carbonate. So when the sodium carbonate is obtained, if you will treat it with the water molecule, then you will get the hydrated form of the sodium carbonate, which is known as the washing soda. So in this way, for the preparation of the washing soda, these steps are followed, and these steps are very important steps that you need to remember while the preparation of the washing soda. In the examination point of view, it's very relevant that it is going to be asked you that what are the various steps that we need to follow in order to prepare the washing soda. That these 3 steps that you need to remember from here. Well, now let us try to understand that what are the uses of this washing soda. Well, basically the washing soda has the various uses. The first one, it is used in the manufacture of the glass, also the manufacture of the soaps, pepper, and also it is used in the manufacture or the making of the various chemicals such as sodium hydroxide, which is known as a caustic soda, as well as the formation of the borax. That means in order to manufacture all these substances, in order to form all these substances, that we need the washing soda. That means the washing soda here it is used to manufacture all these substances. Use number 2. It is used as a cleansing agent for the domestic purposes. Well, it will be very good cleansing agent, and it is used as a very good cleansing agent for all the materials which is there in the domestic, which is there in the home. And number 3, we have the third number use, that is the washing soda can also be used for the removing of the permanent hardness from the water. That means the water which consists of the hardness, and in order to remove that hardness from the water, then we use the washing soda. And the next one, the washing soda is used here as a good useful reagent in the laboratory. That means in the lab it is used as a very useful and very purposeful reagent in the laboratory. So these are the various uses of the washing soda. So we have discussed the preparation of the washing soda along with its uses. Now we will discuss the bleaching powder, its preparation along with its uses. Well, if you look at the bleaching powder, we have the formula that is calcium oxycloride. Well, it has been given the different names such as calcium oxychloride, the calcium hypochlorite or the calcium hypochloride of the lime. Now the question is that how the bleaching powder is prepared. What are the ways that we can prepare the bleaching powder? The preparation, if you look at the preparation, the calcium hydroxide, the CaOH2, this is calcium hydroxide, which is known as a slaked lime. Well, when the calcium hydroxide reacts with the chlorine gas, then we get the calcium oxychloride, which is basically a bleaching powder with the liberation of the water molecule. That means, well, if suppose you have the calcium oxide, which is a quicklime, and if you will dissolve it with water, then you will get calcium hydroxide, which is a slaked lime. And if the slaked lime reacts with the chlorine gas, then bleaching powder is obtained. You need to remember, my dear students, that what is the formula for bleaching powder? That is calcium oxycloride. And it has been given the various names, such as calcium hypocloride or calcium hypochlorite, etc. Well, now what are the uses of this bleaching powder? So this is what the preparation and the reaction for the preparation of this bleaching powder is very much important, which is relevant for your examination, and you need to remember this. Now let's look at the uses, some few uses. Well, we have, the bleaching powder can be used for the sterilization of the drinking water. In order to make it pure, the drinking water, the bleaching powder is used, and that means it will be used for the sterilization of the drinking water. Number 2, it is used in the manufacture of the chloroform. Well, if you would like to manufacture the chloroform, the bleaching powder plays a very important role here. And number 3, it is used as an oxidizing agent in the lab. And number 4, the bleaching powder can also be used for the bleaching the cotton, wood pulp, etc. So for bleaching all these substances such as linen, wood pulp, cotton, etc., the bleaching powder is very, very important. So these are some of the uses of the bleaching powder. Well, here we have discussed the preparation of the bleaching powder along with its uses. Now we will discuss the preparation of the plaster of Paris along with its uses. Well, if you look at the plaster of Paris, what is the formula for plaster of Paris? The hemi-hydrated form of the calcium sulfate. So what is the preparation? How can we prepare the plaster of Paris? Well, the plaster of Paris can be prepared by the heating of the gypsum. So what is the formula for gypsum? That is, the dihydrated form of the calcium sulfate is known as gypsum. And if you will heat that gypsum with 373 Kelvin, then you will get the plaster of Paris. That is the hemi-hydrated form of calcium sulfate with the liberation of the water molecule. Well, that is what the preparation of the plaster of Paris. Now let's try to understand what are the uses of the plaster of Paris. The plaster of Paris are used for, the making mounds or, the casts or for toys, pottery, etc. For making these toys, pottery, the plaster of Paris used as a very important manner. And it is also used for covering the walls as well as the roofs, and it is also used for making the designs of the walls as well as the roofs. And the plaster of Paris is also used in the surgical bandages for setting the fractured bones. Generally, the doctor, when the bone is getting fractured, then these plaster of Paris will be used in the surgical bandages in order to set the fractured bones. Well, we have the 4th use, that is, it is also used in the lab for making the airtight container, airtight apparatus by sealing them. And it is also used for making the fireproof materials. This is also you need to understand from here. These are the uses of the plaster of Paris. Now we need to understand that if you will do the hydrolysis of this plaster of Paris, that means on hydrolysis of the plaster of Paris, what happened? The gypsum is obtained. But if you will heat the gypsum, then plaster of Paris is obtained. That is hemi-hydrated form of calcium sulfate. But if the hemi-hydrated form of calcium sulfate, that is the plaster of Paris, on reaction with the water molecule, then gypsum is obtained. So this is what you need to understand from the plaster of Paris uses along with the formation of the gypsum as well. And in the next, we will discuss about the baking soda preparation and its uses. Well, if you look at the baking soda, what is the formula for baking soda? The formula for baking soda is a sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. Now we need to understand that how can we prepare this baking soda. You have the sodium carbonate. When the sodium carbonate reacts with the carbon dioxide and the water molecule, then sodium hydrogen carbonate or the sodium bicarbonate is obtained. That means the sodium bicarbonate is obtained on treatment with carbon dioxide, water and the sodium carbonate. Well, this is the reaction for the preparation of the baking soda, and you need to remember this reaction, which is very important. Now at last, let us discuss the uses of this baking soda. The baking soda is used generally as an ingredient in the antacid. That means the stomach produces the hydrochloric acid in order to digest the food. But when the excess of hydrochloric acid is produced in the stomach, then the stomach it will be getting started irritation. And in order to overcome that one, this baking soda, which is being an alkaline, baking soda being an alkaline, it neutralizes the excess acid which is present in the stomach, and it gives the relief from the indigestion. And it is also used as an additive in the foods as well as the drinks. In the foods as well as the drinks, it is also used in a very important manner. Well, the baking soda can also be used in the fire extinguisher. One more point you need to remember. And at last, the baking soda is also used as a constituent of this baking powder. Well, these are the various uses, the preparation as well as the uses of the baking soda. This is what we have completed, the chapter acids, bases as well as the salts. And if you would like to watch the next chapter, I would request you to press the bell icon over here to subscribe to our YouTube channel for getting the latest notification. Thank you very much for watching.